Alright, so this weekend was the second annual 613 Supplies Duff Court Graffiti Jam, and I think I might have painted my favorite piece of the year so far. Not because it was the biggest, not because it was the craziest, but because for the first time in a while, everything just seemed to click. The colors worked, the composition worked, and I actually walked away feeling proud of it. So let's rewind to the beginning. When the artist lineup was announced a few weeks ago, I noticed something pretty cool. My buddy Reno from New Brunswick and I were painting beside each other. Again, this happened last year too. So naturally, we messaged each other on Instagram and started figuring out how our walls could work together. One of my favorite parts of graffiti jams is when neighboring artists coordinate colors. Instead of every wall feeling disconnected, the entire section starts to look like one giant collaborative mural. After throwing ideas back and forth for a bit, we settled on a dark purple palette with metallic gray outlines and 3D. Then we decided to surround everything with this fiery explosion background using yellows, oranges, and reds. We thought it would make both pieces really pop. Now, the weather forecast. Looked absolutely terrible. Rain almost the entire weekend, thunder, lightning, the works. So I packed rain boots, oversized raincoat, tarps, pretty much everything except my canoe. And it didn't even rain once. Instead, we got blazing sunshine, over 30 degrees Celsius, which honestly wasn't much better. Fortunately for me, my wall spent a good part of the day in the shade, so I definitely got lucky there. Before touching a spray can, I spent some time walking around the event. One of my favorite things about graffiti jams is catching up with everyone. Some people I haven't seen in months, others I only see at these events. And there's always someone new to meet. Once I finished making the rounds, it was finally time to sketch. The basic structure went down pretty quickly. Once my sketch was finished, I did what became my routine throughout the day. I grabbed the GoPro and went for a walk. I always love seeing the event evolve. At this point, everyone is sketching, walls are almost empty, ideas are just beginning to appear, and you can almost imagine what they're going to become.
One, check, ay, one, live, live and direct, I'm back on set action, create the wave, we cannonball splash them, mic cord swinging, get your...
How you doing?
Good, man.
S1?
Fuse.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, good to
Oh,
see
you're
you.
in line.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Drugs on tap, so what the fuck you copping? Way too locked in, I don't see another option.
Back on my wall, it was color time. I started from the bottom with Venus Violet, faded into Cosmos Violet, before finishing with Vampire Purple at the top. I really liked how smooth these three colors blended together.
Do you wanna know what time it is? Head knock, yeah, we want it all. Stick up, stick up, stick up, stick up, whoa. Get up, get up, get up, get up, go. Pumping beats, ripping mics, flipping waves. Intravenous flow, got you all on the rig. On lock, it's a cinch. One shot, it's a swish. Yeah, I'm good every day, but I'm better in the clinch. Don't really rock chains, I'm much better with the whips. All black paint.
I noticed Reno had added some lighter purple flares to his letters. It was really good, so I borrowed the idea to help pair up two pieces together. I used Venus Violet inside the darker sections, and Rita Grey throughout the lighter areas. Little details like that really help neighboring walls feel connected without making them identical. But something felt off, compared to Reno's wall. And honestly, everyone else's too. My piece looked tiny. The proportions were good, it just wasn't filling the space. So I decided to push the letter extensions much farther than I had originally planned. That simple adjustment completely changed the composition. Sometimes the smallest design decisions make the biggest difference. The outline came next. I chose Pearl Grey. It contrasts nicely against the dark purple without being as harsh as white. By then, the sun had shifted. My shade had disappeared. And suddenly, I was baking. Even standing still beside the wall felt exhausting. 30-degree weather in direct sun is no joke, man. Then came one of my favorite parts, the metallic 3D. I built it gradually, starting with Wolf Grey, then London Grey, Pearl Grey, Rita Grey, and finally Stardust Grey. Layering 5 greys takes longer, but it creates a much more convincing metallic effect. And while I was painting, Wise stopped by. He looked at the piece and suggested adding some bright white reflections in the metal. Just a few highlights, just to make it sparkle in the sunlight. I made a mental note. I'd come back to that later. Now it's time for the background. First, light yellow behind all the openings inside the letters. Then I surrounded the whole piece with large red bubbles using Kobra Inganno Red. After that, I cut back inside the red using lava orange. That's when I realized I was almost out. Perfect timing, right? So I wandered over to the 613 supplies booth and picked up a few fresh cans. Another red, Hazzard orange, and Indian yellow. Once I got back, I rebuilt the orange, then I faded the Indian yellow between the bright yellow and the orange. Suddenly, the whole thing came alive. It looked like the letters were exploding through this wall of fire. Exactly what I had imagined beforehand. With the background finished, I made my uni using black. That one step completely transformed the piece. Everything became sharper, cleaner, and way more vibrant. And finally, I remembered Wise's advice. I added bright white reflections in a handful of places throughout the metallic 3D. It was exactly what the piece needed. Sometimes someone else's fresh perspective makes all the difference. Once everything was cleaned up, I stood back, and honestly, I was really happy with it. That doesn't happen very often. Usually by the end of a wall, I can already spot 10 things I'd change. This one, I just enjoyed looking at. Maybe it's something about graffiti jams, you know? Being surrounded by talented artists, watching incredible work happen all around you, everyone pushing each other to do their best. That's an energy that's hard to describe, man. Before leaving, I took one last walk around the event to say goodbye to everyone.
But it's in a cloud.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, it is.
Well, because it's a seaside style, right?
Yeah, and instead of like a basketball, it's going to be the pearl. She's throwing the pearl in. I'm going to make it like a weird tongue.
Jumping like this, look, anything I touch is go, they call me Mightis. I pull up to the function and I get it righteous. Follow the boy, I got the light and I'm feeling no shows. If I break a record, bet that record still broken. Try to go against the boy, you see them, they choking. Way too elevated when you see me.
All good in the hood, sir. What color's your outline gonna be? Huh? What color's your outline gonna be?
Red.
On the next one, easy. Never like the next one. We ain't even got to flex, huh? Easy.
You ain't gotta tell me. Yeah, you know we about to do it too big. Big dog status, that's just how I live. Gotta get it how I live it, I do it. I put on for the city, got me feeling so.
What's up, little puppy? You're awake now? You're out of your bed? Huh? You're out of your bed? Good puppy.
Oh, I walked by her. What? Come here. You want to dance? What's up? I might be allergic to you. I'm not sure. I might be. I know. So I can't make out with you. Sorry. Yeah, but then if you only keep that, do they still have any of the buff? No, they're out?
Then I headed straight home. I was desperately in need of an ice-cold drink and a jump in the pool. The next day, I came back to grab photos and videos of all the finished pieces. And I caught up with Katie, Smart, and Devo while they were putting the finishing touches on their walls. It was an amazing weekend. An awesome event. And definitely one I'll be back for next year. Alright, now here's the roundup. Store, Heaven, Jean, Cores, Inks, Katie, Emils, Gong, Ayar, Disc, Rawls, Reno, Rough Row, Wise, Dape, Smart One, Devo, Famous, Whose, Thuse, Bribe, and Merc and Kachu. If you enjoyed coming along, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's your favorite part of this piece? The metallic letters? The fiery background? Something else? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Till next time, stay up. And thanks again to 613 Supplies for holding this amazing event.